Running with the runners, running with the runners.
All right, welcome in everyone. You are running with the runners on a special live presentation. It's Monday, October 6th, 2025. Just so many lives being changed. Mims, we're going to look at one today from Davy Jones. But I think I'm finally over the jet lag, brother. How are you doing? And excited to start off this week right.
Oh yeah, fired up and excited as always, folks. We got a phenomenal show for you guys. Yeah, we changing lives, man. This project is changing lives. We just getting started. You know, the FOMO is kicking in. We're starting to see exponential growth. You know, in this project, in this ecosystem, in the community, people are fired up and excited with their daily rewards of this asset that is continuing to rise in value, that allows them to have a more better quality standard of living. And yeah, brother, I'm just I'm ready. I'm ready to go back. Okay, I'm ready to go back to Thailand. I'm making plans. You know, we're gonna be in Switzerland, I think in January or February or so, and I'm thinking maybe Mike after Switzerland, we just go straight to Thailand, brother. Right back to Thailand. That might be the move, but
That might be it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Fired up and excited though, brother. Fired up and excited for tonight's show, man. Make sure you guys get ready to like this out, share this out. People need to see, you know, what's taking place over here. And they need to, you know, put themselves in their position, especially in this economy right now. A lot of people getting furloughed, a lot of, you know, a global uncertainty. People need real options, real solutions, real systems. And, you know, we're blazing a trail, literally putting people in position to make sure that a wealthy family comes from them. So lock in.
Yeah, that's what it's about. We actually got to meet, Davey was not in Thailand, but his son was. So I got to meet him for a little bit. And he reached out to me and we just started talking and had a ton in common. He comes from a gold and silver background. So his story is absolutely amazing. So we're going to go ahead and bring on Davy Jones right now. What's going on, brother?
What's up, gentlemen?
You know,
Yes,
living
sir.
the dream. Hopefully one day we're living it like you are, but you know, you got a little head start on us.
Yeah, I got in very early. Yes. Very
I will be
bold.
like Davey when I get older.
Yeah.
So Davey, real quick, you know, maybe just let people know where you're from, you know, what you were doing before Texit.
Yeah.
And then here in a little bit, we'll have you kind of start telling us the amazing story when you got in.
Yeah. Well, we're still doing what where we came from, but yeah. Anyways, long story short, I own the Locker Mint. We started that in 2019, and we manufacture precious metal artwork. So, you know, designs and colorized stuff and handboard stuff, and we got our own line of silver art bars and rounds and things like that.
Okay, awesome. And how long have you? Obviously, as you know, I told you, Ricardo and I have been big into gold and silver.
Yeah.
So how long have you kind of been either buying or collecting, or I guess you started producing in 2019, but had you been a stacker previously?
Oh yeah, my granddad was a coin collector, and anyways, long story short, I know the story. I can tell you. We were in a Walmart one day, and my wife and I were walking by a Coinstar, and you know, I was like, "Huh, let me go over there and just kind of put my finger in the little hole." And well, you know, silver dime. And I thought, I'm gonna start collecting. You know, my granddad collected, and so here we are, many years later, and I've been hooked ever since. So.
I love it. Well, that's kind of goes with what Ricardo says about, you know, a wealthy family. When you have somebody in your lineage who discovers what real money is, it really does change, and you know, entire family trees for generations if you have that one person who does it.
Yeah.
These are awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm ready to go shopping.
Ricardo's probably already buying some of these right now. I bet.
People laugh at me, and I told my wife, I said, I need to shut the website off for a week. It's been crazy. We've been very busy, and social media sales are really way down for us. But our big partners like APMEX and Money Metals Exchange, and we've got some other very large distributors, Rogues Island Mint. They've been distributing our product since the beginning. And we've been so busy. And as you know, Mason's traveling the world with you fellas out there. So I'm left holding the bag back here at home, and it's not been easy. So
Yeah, these are really unique.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
got-
real money too. That's the thing that, I
Yeah.
post today. I don't save in silver because I know the price is going up. I save in it because I know there's a point in time when you won't be able to get it.
Yeah.
And when you can get it, and it's art. It's a piece of art. That's a whole
Yeah.
other value added onto it.
We know the crazy thing is when we would sell these pieces as artwork, 3 years ago, you might have paid $45 with the premium. Well, now the price of silver has surpassed the cost of the silver and the original premium to make the product.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was always a big deal to me too. When people would kind of make an issue about maybe the premium or how much they're paying for the silver, I'm like, you're missing it, because
Yeah.
the value of silver is way greater than any spot price plus premium that you would pay,
Yeah.
as well. I mean, if you could get, pure at a better price, but you need to
Yeah.
understand silver is massively undervalued. This thing should be hundreds of dollars on a conservative level per coin, let alone
Yeah.
where it is now. So
Right on. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
And I love it. We can, like I said, coming from the gold and silver world, it's crazy to me how many of them don't understand cryptocurrency. They don't want to learn about blockchain. They're just like focused solely on just gold and silver, which again is great. Like we obviously still buy gold and silver, but I think the people in that gold and silver community who fail to look outside of it are really missing out on a lot of upside. So before Texit, were you into blockchain and crypto at all, or was it kind of Texit that introduced you to this other, alternative currency?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question because I was going to interrupt you and I held back. It is the hardest thing to get a doomsday silver gold stacker to get involved in a digital currency, right?
Yep.
Facts.
It seems to go against everything we know.
Facts.
But no, I had dabbled a little bit in Dogecoin and lost a bunch of money on that Reddit hype run up type thing. No, we have partners that we do some of our products with. Some people may colorize our product. Some people may stamp our product for us, depending on what we need. And the Bex Coin Minting family gifted me into Texit Coin. And that was my journey into crypto. Yeah, so that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I especially now, we've been teaching people about crypto and blockchain for a long time, but I think, starting with Texit is the easiest way to get people into blockchain and cryptocurrency.
It's Crypto University, man.
Yeah.
100%. But go on, continue.
I think Mason even said this to me as, earn while you learn.
Yes.
Once you can get that first payment in for your first miner, you're getting crypto every day. And then you can start using, different blockchains and, exchanges and stuff. Whereas, to get onto an exchange and connect it to your bank and do all this other, jumping through a bunch of hoops, a lot of times people just quit and give up after, something doesn't work or, an exchange doesn't approve them quick enough. So I think if anyone out there is like, well, I don't know anything about cryptocurrency, I don't know anything about blockchain, perfect. This is the perfect way to start into it, and you can earn while you're learning.
It's the amount of things that I've learned from it. It's fantastic. Whether it be like a Ledger type wallet or a MetaMask and all these things that I never heard of, and now I hold other cryptos. It's it's a great thing, man. It's taught me so much, not just about crypto, but about how money works.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, you can buy cryptocurrency, which majority of people are buying cryptocurrency, or you can get paid in it.
Yeah.
You see, so it's not only is this the best, better way, but this is more the I would say the elite way, the premier way of getting into blockchain and crypto. Because one, like you said, while you're learning and getting into this space, you're actually earning a digital asset every single day for the rest of your life that's rising in value while you're earning and learning. But as you learn more about the blockchain and crypto space, and you do find other digital assets that you might want to hold, you still have the ability to not only buy those, but you can sell the coins that you're mining every single day if you wanted to, and convert them into those coins every single day. And then
Absolutely.
still the next day receive Texit coins.
Yes.
So it's definitely the premier way of getting into the blockchain and crypto space. Most people just don't know about it. They don't know how. And, one of the beautiful things about Texit is that it's so simple and so user-friendly and so straightforward.
I've got such a great story about that.
So yeah,
That's why we're here, folks.
we're ready. We're ready, David. I think we've kept people waiting long enough.
Yeah.
Tell us, you kind of meant, we talked about this on the phone, but when do you hear about Texit? What was your first feelings about Bobby?
Yeah.
And then definitely tell me the coffee story.
So we have this annual like metals, like dealers, manufacturers, and artists meeting. We've held it for 5 years. It started out as just like a stackers meeting, a party type thing, and then it grew and it grew and it grew. And about 2 years ago, Bobby Gray crashed the party with Chris Beck and Andrea Beck from the Beck's Coin Minting Party. And he showed up, and it was a great time. And it was a big celebration as usual. We're basically sitting around the coffee table, and he's selling people this idea on building a mine to metals people.
Right.
We're all sitting here thinking, man, this guy's nuts. He's trying to sell us on building a mine to dig gold and silver out of the ground. And
he's at the wrong party, huh?
Yeah. 12 months later, we turned the Locktoberfest show into a coin show. And a few months prior to that, Chris Beck had called me up and said, hey, I sent you something in the mail, and it's a little cold storage coin. It's Texit coin. It's crypto. And I'm like, yeah, there you go. And I'm like, okay, thanks, man. Like whatever. And he'd call me once a week. Hey, man, did you hop on one of those Zoom calls, and did you scan your coin into your wallet yet? And he would do this he did it for, I'd say, at least 2 months. And at the time, I was busy, right, on our business, and it's last year was a record year for us, so we were grinding away. I said, okay, all right, Chris, you're bugging me enough. So I get it. I open it up. I said, holy cow, there's $800 on here. Like, this is wild. And so, long story short, Bobby Gray called me, and he's like, hey, I'd like to come out to Locktoberfest and sponsor or whatever. And I said, okay, I'll pay for your table. Come on down. And anyways, he shows up. He by himself, by the way. He had nobody else. He bought a dinner, and I think we had about 50 people in attendance. And he signed up some pretty big, I would say, networkers throughout the silver and gold community. And I don't care what anybody else says. The silver and gold community built Texit Coin. They built it because it exploded on the scene. And it is still rampant today. And my team is 3,000 strong, or pushing 3,000. So it's pretty it's pretty impressive. So 2 years ago, he's talking about, building this mine. A year later, he's at our coin show. And a year later, we're comparably the largest startup crypto project in history. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
I love that. So the first year he hadn't started Texit, but he was just mentioning, like, I'm going to build a mine.
Yes.
You guys think, building a gold and silver mine is very difficult.
Right.
But then you guys realize, oh, he's talking about, cryptocurrency, blockchain. The next year he comes back. I'm assuming that's when Texit was in its infancy.
Texit had been around. I think the first block was mined in like January of that year. And I think we were holding a dinner as soon as March, like 2 months later, I believe. So, my dates may be a little messed up, but it was within a few months. He was at the show. And you know, the rest is history, man. We thought he was nuts that year, though. Hey, I mean, Bobby's always been a big dreamer, and he is. Chris Beck, before I met him, said, "Dave, he's like a cowboy," and that's the best way I can explain him. He's a Wild West cowboy, and so yeah, we thought he was nuts. We liked him. We had a great time with him, but yeah, a year later, here he was. He built a mine. He started building the mine, anyways.
And when you finally get to open your cold storage wallet and you see there's $800 on there, I'm assuming the the coin price back then was probably like 10 cents or
12
something?
cents. Yeah, around 10 or 12 cents when I first looked at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to do the math.
Yeah, right.
Of now, how much, just from what he had told you when you finally realized,
yeah,
you know, because to have $800 of a token at 12 cents,
800.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
80.
Well,
What is it?
what's funny was I was giving away preloaded coins from my stash because at the time, like you said, it was 12 cents. And honestly, I never believed it would be doing what it did, you know. And I had one guy, one of our customers, like, "Hey, I've been hearing about this. I've seen you post a few times. Can I buy $250 worth?" I said, "Yeah, you can buy it." And so I loaded it up and sent him a coin. And about 2 weeks ago, I saw him trying to sell it. He had $8,000 on there from that $250.
Wow. So $250 to $8,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
$8,000, man. Just crazy.
All right.
Real
So tell us the story of, I think you said it was you and Bobby Gray and some other guys sitting around on Sunday morning having some coffee, or Saturday morning.
Yeah, so that was actually, well, yeah, it was, we say it was in the morning. It was in the middle of the night, let's say. But we were having the Locktoberfest party, and basically we were sitting around our kitchen table and everybody was having their cocktails, and that's when hey, we're building this mine. That's the story. Again, we had some very large, manufacturers and precious metal dealers, and they're just like, these guys are nuts. What are they talking about? So it's one of my favorite things to talk about, because I had to go back and ask Bobby just recently. I said, "Bobby, do you remember that? Were you actually talking about Texit Coin then?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Wow, that's pretty wild. It's a cool story. It's pretty wild." So
When I thought you had said something about Bobby told you something would happen in the future.
oh,
That to me was the cool part. Maybe I misunderstood you, but
well, no, he did. He said, what did he say to me? He said, "Dave, you're going to be rich." And I laughed at him out loud, not on purpose, like not one of these mocking laughs, like it was uncontrollable. I just laughed. I just like, yeah, whatever, man. And by the way, I'm not rich, okay? I got in early. I am not rich. I sold a lot of Texit coin early on to get through our slower months. So the holidays were rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing, right? It kept us going.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's there for.
But I guess where Mike's going is I'll just tell you, we had a really strong run up just recently, to almost $6.
Yeah, about $7.
I was watching intently, and I had a goal when we hit $5 that I was going to purchase my home with Texit Coin.
Wow.
And so through the help of some other Rangers, I said, "Hey, I need to sell about $160,000 worth of Texit coin," and struck a deal, traded $100,000 for $1 of Bitcoin. Got that Bitcoin, hit my wallet. I did an internal swap and cashed out, and we paid for our home in full. So I just signed the contract on it this week. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Yeah.
And did you guys buy a new one, or you paid off your house that you had?
We
like,
paid off our house. It's kind of a long story, but I worked for a corporation that bought this home for us when they moved us here. I come from corporate America, and the agreement was I was going to buy it from them. This is actually a cool story too. It's a single family home, and it's newer. It's about 13 years old now. And during the COVID times, I was working 90 hours a week, and I'd worked for this guy for 20 years now, and I quit. I said I can't do it no more. It was a little bit after COVID, and we hadn't purchased a home yet, and he continued to allow us to live here. And I said, hey, I started a business out of the home. I built the shop in their garage. That's before we put the shop out back, and told him what I was doing. He said, well, I'll make you a deal. You can buy the home for the original purchase price. And he gave me 12 months, and that turned into 24 months. And then I called him up and I said, hey, I got it. So the home's valued around 250. I was able to buy it for 160 cash.
Okay.
So just another great financial type story, right? And he's like, are you going to go flip this thing now? And I said, no, I just built a shop on the back. I'm not flipping it right now, but I might soon.
Right.
So, yeah,
That's
really cool.
And those are the stories that I think people need to hear to understand how life-changing this can be. Bobby Gray telling you, rich is very subjective, right? If somebody tells me that they own their house outright and they're not paying a mortgage, I consider you wealthy right there, right? You have taken away that risk. And, obviously we know as more inflation happens, real estate prices are probably going to keep going up. You don't got to worry about the interest rates. So that's absolutely huge. And for people to see that, even you laughed at Bobby when he said, you're going to be rich someday. And then to be able to cash out, $160,000 from Texit to be able to purchase this house. I mean, that's life-changing. And like we talked about earlier, right, is, where your father or grandfather got into gold and silver. Now you're bringing your entire family into, the digital age with blockchain and cryptocurrency. I don't want to speak for him, but when I talked to Mason, as we were going to the temple, I think he's doing pretty good for a 22-year-old. I think he said he was.
Mason is set up pretty well, and Mama and I'm tough on him because, here's the thing that I talk about with Texit Coin that I want the world to know. I feel like Texit Coin, whether you love Bobby Gray or not, I don't care. But when it comes to Texit Coin, I feel like it's the people's crypto. Right. I feel like it was driven by a grassroots movement of blue collar folks. I wasn't born with the silver spoon in my mouth. Okay. I was a guy that was making macaroni and cheese with salt and pepper and water. There was no milk and butter. And my kids didn't necessarily experience that. Their dad was always a blue collar guy. We got by, but I have stressed for 30 plus years, 30 years, crying, no money at Christmas, just rough, didn't come from a rich family. And this is the first time ever that I've been able to breathe. Now, hopefully I'm not dumb and irresponsible and I can make it work. But anyways, when it comes to Mason, we're reinvesting in our own company for his own future. Locker Mint's going to be his. And so we're going to use Texit Coin to help us with equipment and other things that we need. And that's a blessing. And to me, that's being rich. Like you said, Mike,
exactly.
That's rich, man.
And so I can imagine that I'll be able to pay for some of those products in Texit Coin.
We already accept it, my friend. We already accept it. Yes. Texit Coin awesome. All day long. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, the beautiful thing is that we just getting started. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Texit Coin is just getting started. And so, enrich is subjective, but when Bobby Gray said we're gonna be rich, we know what he means.
Yeah, we know what he means. Yeah.
We know what he means. And whether you get the last seat on this rocket ship or you're able to take part in the next mine that gets built, You guys are in a very good position. We're all in a good position because every single day we're still receiving, these assets. And, it's a beautiful story. A lot of people's lives have changed right now where they're paying off debt, and this, Texas Coin is helping them, maintain their standard of living and giving them that confidence of a better financial future. I mean, that's in itself, a lot of times stuff like that, that's priceless in itself. A lot of time when you're talking about your mental, your mental health and your physical health and things of that nature. So man, this is, that's an awesome, real story, folks. And, I'm loving it. I'm loving every part of it and what we're doing with Texit.
I could tell you, I've got a friend, and she doesn't like me to bring it up, but she called me. She was earlier than I was. And she said, "Dave, did you look at your wallet?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I cried today." I said, "Yeah." And I didn't think much about it at the time. Not too far later, I think the same thing happened to me because of what you said there, right? It's just the mental stress and things that people go through with 9 to 5 or corporate jobs, just trying to get by.
Yeah.
And when you talk about building your own business, like, oh, I'm going to quit my job and build my own business, be my own boss. Yeah, you're in for a world of
it's a roller coaster
of pain. Yeah. And just to be able to have 1 year to breathe, man, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's why I preach is, this is why it's so important that no matter what you're doing, I don't care if you're already in another opportunity. I don't care if you already have another business. I don't care if you work in multiple jobs. You want to have options, and you want to, you want to have multiple streams of income, and you never know which one is going to take off faster than the other. You never know which one is going to support the other. You never know what comes up in life. So anytime that you could be a part of something that you see this type of momentum, you see this type of testimony, you see this type of real, value and infrastructure, lock in a position, especially when a miner is considered inexpensive, when it comes to miners. Me and Mike have been mining, and crypto, and we've got different software, and, we've got all kind of, and we know in this space, these things can be very expensive, especially as they sell out. But here we are, over 30,000 plus miners sold, and you can still get the miner at the same price that originally came out, with the first miner being sold. I mean, that's powerful in itself. So, people having that option and being able to leverage this at this time is it's next level. That peace of mind is critical, especially going in this economy. Peace of mind, you want to have peace of mind, and a lot of people's problems and stress affects their health, but a lot of problems are money problems. Yeah. A lot of people's problems are money problems. And so if we have a solution, we're telling you, this is why we're asking right now, if you're watching this, like this, smash the like button right now and hit the share button. Share this out so people can get this information, and so they can see, what Texit Coin, has done for Davey and others, and how they can take advantage.
Yeah, I just saw that searches for second jobs just hit an all-time high. We have massive inflation. A person, I don't even know what I would be doing if I was still a teacher right now. I don't even know how I would survive. I think I'd be making like $60,000-$70,000 a year.
No, we don't need you. We don't need you teaching the kids. We need you teaching the masses, Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
But and I got my master's. I jumped through all the hoops you're supposed to do to be successful, and I don't know how teachers even survive these days. But I saw, in order to afford the median home in America now, you need to make $125,000 a year just to get a median home. And I've just heard so many people having to get second, third jobs. And so that's why this is huge, guys. Like Davey said, like, this is the made in America blockchain. Cryptocurrency is the people's money. And the fact that there's an affiliate program tacked onto this it can just be life-changing, because you have to grow a network. For your blockchain to be successful, you need community, you need awareness, and so when you incentivize people to do that, it makes it a lot easier for your crypto to grow quicker. Now, Bitcoin didn't have that, but it was what made Bitcoin grow. Our early believers who got in and were able to make some money, they gave back to the community, right? They would all come in and pool their money to do a billboard or, internet commercials or fund faucets or whatever it is. And so again, Bobby knows what he's doing. Like, he knows how to build these alternative currencies, which is why we want to have a strong community. We want to have people who are invested. We want to have people going out, having meetings, advertisements and events and stuff. So to me, you have to do this because there's so many different cryptocurrencies and blockchains out there. You have to do something that makes you stand apart from all the other stuff out there. And we're doing that, especially when it comes to getting the communities involved with the downtown dollars and the Texit, Economic Association. So totally life changing.
Yeah, two things I want to add on that you're talking about, Mike. One, what made Bitcoin great was the miners. There are people who continue to build and add on to the mining infrastructure of Bitcoin all across the world. And then as people be able to adopt it and everything else. So one, the miners, but also the other beautiful thing about Texit is that, folks, we just came back from Thailand. And when in another country and, obviously the money, the currency difference and,
big difference too.
Big difference. Yes, very big difference. So the quality of food, the quality of living, what I'm saying? I mean, you can rent a penthouse. I'm talking about living like a king in Thailand. You're paying $800 a month on the rent. You don't need a credit score. In Thailand, you just need a passport and you got 2 months rent and they ready to give you the keys.
I may have lost Mason for good, honestly.
Yeah, look, I'm right there with Mason.
Yeah.
And so the thing is with Texit, you have miners now. Every single day, you're getting this digital asset. This asset is rising in value. I'm in Thailand spending crypto. I send the Texit coin, convert it to USDT, send it to my Visa card, and I swipe and I spend and I pay for everything that I pay for, in Thailand. So, this gives you options because, some people make too much money to live in America. I realize you make too much money to live in America. Live abroad. You're going to live a better quality of lifestyle. You're getting better quality of food. Your money go further. And then even people who, if you don't make a lot of money, get a miner and start to figure out how you can live outside the United States. Because, this is the thing, the dollar is going to continue to lose value. Inflation is going to be here, and if you're not in assets right now, you're going to get wiped out. You're going to have a hard time. The jobs are not coming back, automation, robotics, AI. Don't get complacent. Don't just think that you're going to be able to just find a job or just work and get by. You have to do something different. And now, when you have the ability to mine cryptocurrency and buy multiple miners and you're getting paid every single day for the rest of your life, now you got some options because now you realize, wait, this is real money and I can go live somewhere else in the world and have a better quality of lifestyle with less stress and better health.
You know what? And another thing to all you're saying, all of that, but what's made Texit Coin so great for me is the community. I have never seen such a unified community, right? And such a close community, and it's worldwide. You guys are over there in Thailand and I mean, the community's worldwide.
Yeah.
But think about this. I can text, and by the way, don't do this, but I could text Kira at 2:00 in the morning and tell her, hey, I just signed the contract in my house. We love you guys. You changed our lives. Thank you. And the next morning I can get a text from Bobby that says, are you ready for me to crash your party again this year? So the community part in itself is driving this. And I think if the community stands behind it and they have the belief and the faith and the things we can do, with our currency, you know what I mean?
That part.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And are you in Louisiana or Texas?
We're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay.
We moved from Texas here about 13 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to wrap up here in the next 10 minutes or so.
Sure.
But so did you tell me you didn't know there were commissions to be paid on sharing Texit and you kind of found out, or was that somebody else?
I think I may have mentioned to you that I was a team builder and I didn't realize the 1-2 freeze. And I don't know, I may get lynched for saying this, but for the founders, 1-2 frees are significant for the Founders Club. And I passed up on a lot of hash power, a lot, by helping my friends or family, let them get their referrals or whatever may be through the referral program. I missed out on a lot. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, so I guess what I'm saying is, what was your journey or evolution of, oh, this guy gifted me a miner.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm not even looking at my token. Okay, you look at the token, there's $800 on there. And then was it like, oh, that's cool, and you go back to your normal life? Or like, how did you get into like, okay, I'm going to take this seriously and start sharing it to make some, more extra income?
That's a great question. So when we had the coin show, it wasn't me. It was a lot of the dealers that came to the show that signed up, and that was through Bobby's efforts. It really wasn't mine. But Bobby called me up and said, "Hey, you got a commission? Here's your crypto commission, and thank you." And then that sparked my interest. But it really was the people under me and that were doing all this, because I was still focused on Locker Mint. But as it started to grow and get bigger, I'd become like a sponge for all the knowledge about Texit Coin and crypto, whatever I could get. And then I became kind of like a mentor or a teacher, and that fostered into team building, growing teams. And then, my wife would sign up some real great networker, and before you know it, he's on the phone with me 4 or 5 times a day. All right, Dave, I need you to put this person here and do this and this and this. And how does a referral system work? And we just started building really strong, powerful teams, and not like professional marketers. Now those guys are good, but for little old us, we did really well. We built some really strong teams. But it was really the guys under me that they started growing, and then it just kind of clicked with me. And then from there, I was benefiting from that. So it was like, Bobby called me up. It's like, dude, I need you to get to work. and I didn't understand it all. I didn't understand how it all worked. And once it clicked with me, we just, I don't know, we created some chat rooms, and we just kind of took the lead. We need a strong leader sometimes. A lot of people would have, certain issues from their sponsors that they didn't know anything. And we were like, our phone, our door, we're open, whatever you need, we'll help. And I think from the willingness to assist people, that's what helped us grow, was just the fact that our phone's always on. Mason's out there right now pouring silver in one hand and on the phone with Chris Beck in California about an issue,
Right.
Yeah. So.
And that's what I love about, the affiliate share plan we have here, is it really is a team build.
Yeah.
So you're incentivized to definitely help people that are in your, underneath you or in your network, because when they win, you win. So it just kind of creates this, cycle of giving and receiving, and really just, like you said, having a good time and getting to really grow this community, worldwide, and, excited to see where we're going to head from here.
I got most people that I talk to, I'm telling you, they're so excited when they get their first commission, because they've never got a first commission in anything where it's $1,000. Are you serious? Like, what? My first commission is $1,000, $1,000? Usually it's $50 with a deal, or 200 maybe, something like that, somewhere in between there. But for you to get $1,000 on your first commission, and then you have the ability to do that every week, for sharing, or maybe even make up to $3,000 for the week, that's next level. That's most people don't have that type of extra additional income coming in from sharing something that pays you for acquiring it.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Nobody loses in Texit, whether you share it or not. Sharing is an option, but when you get your miner every single day for the rest of your life, you're going to receive Texit coins to your cold storage wallet. And those coins have value. And those coins give you options in life during times where options are becoming you know,
Less.
yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to
Thank
tell you
you.
guys something too. The Chris Beck, I bring his name up a lot because uh, Chris changed our life, and his sister Andrea, they're really good friends of us, but because they brought us into this. But we've done something, and I want people to know this. We've got a Silverbugs Texit Coin Facebook group. Anybody's welcome to join. We give away a mining seat every week. So to date, my business has donated $20,000 in mining seats. And so we want people to know that. And
That's
Mike,
awesome.
I didn't know if you wanted to touch on this little thing at all.
Oh yeah, let's tease him with that.
Yeah.
And then I just had one more question for you, but you guys are gonna freak out, and Davey, if you can tell them to just be patient, because I know when this happens, it's gonna go. So Davey is the one who designed and kind of made I'll let you tell the story, but made the connection so that very soon you're gonna be able to get your hands on some Texit silver.
Yeah.
So take it away, Davey.
Well, so back at the ANA, I did this in partnership with my buddy at Keystone Stacking. So we work on a lot of projects together. But we obviously, our company, if you didn't know, we wholesale to APMEX and some other large exchanges. And I got a call from, I think it was Gage over there at the sales kind of section of Texit Coin. And we were talking, he's like, I heard you were, in with APMEX. I said, yeah. And anyways, long story short, we came up with a product. Right there it is.
Put it right there over your shirt. That's good right there.
Yep. You guys see that?
Nice.
Let me get back over my shirt. There it is.
Yeah, get TXC.
Yeah.
Is that a 2 ounce? It looks a little heavy. What's that?
It's a 2 ounce.
Oh yeah. See, I know
There
my
it is.
silver now.
Oh, there's my shop. The shop showed up. That's all right. I'm in the shop, guys.
Yeah.
There's the back of it. It is it's carded. It's got all the specs, but it's a 2 ounce piece. Anyways, long story short, as typical fashion, I'm stuck here working. Mason gets to do all the traveling. I set up a meeting with APMEX while we were at the ANA show, got on a conference call, and I said, I really need you to carry some Texit Coin product. And they're like very apprehensive about, crypto type stuff. And I said, well, this is a fun one. You're not selling crypto, you're selling metals. There's a large community behind it. And I'm very sure you're going to do very well. So they bought 10. So my rep's like, I got to be careful with this one. So we got 10. So I shipped them out this week. Okay. But to make a long story short, I emailed them and I said, I want you to know those 10 are gone in seconds. I've got so many people from the Texit Coin community. Hey, can we buy these from you? And I'm like, no, you got to buy them from APMEX. And why can't I buy them from you? Because we want the world to see Texit Coin. We want the world to see our message. And what better way to do that with one of the world's largest precious metals exchange? So what I want to tell people is when these hit the website and they're sold out, there's a button that says notify me. Click that button because I've already emailed them and let them know you will be reordering these. And he laughed at me and he said, all right, I got you, buddy. And I said, okay, because I promise you these are gone in minutes. So they will be available. You'll be very lucky to get it on the first go around.
Yep. So, and once they do go live, once the first 10, I told Davey, I was like, Davey, Ricardo and I would buy 10 of them now if we could,
Yeah, I bought 10 ounces last night. So
yeah.
Shit.
So once the first 10 do go, and they'll sell out probably in a minute.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Davey back on, and we're gonna talk more specifically just about the silver side and Texit and stuff. And then we'll show you guys on APMEX where it is, because I don't think it is. It's
Mike, no, you're gonna go here. Go to silver and then click hand poured silver.
Oh, okay.
This is where people want to go. They're going to click on silver, and over to the left, there should be a section that says hand poured. I don't usually get on it from my desktop. It's usually my phone. It might be under.
It's on the right.
On the right. There you go.
Halloween products, hand poured silver.
all the way to the right there,
Oh,
Mike.
okay, right there.
Yeah. All right. Once you get in this section, you're going to want to click on the 2-ounce section. Yeah, that's just a sale. And you might even see some of our products there already, but this is where they'll have this listed.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually scroll down while you're on there. I'll do a shameless plug unless they're sold out. It might be sold out of our stuff. Keep going. Where is it at? All right. Well, there's one. There's a 1-ounce silver bar we did. Anyways, as you can see, but you'll find it under the hand poured section, 2-ounce.
Okay.
And that's where they'll be listed.
Awesome.
Oh, a last
We'll
question.
notify you guys. We'll notify you guys once it's there. Go ahead.
What are you doing now? So you're a Texit Ranger. We didn't even get to talk about that.
Right.
But are you meeting? Are you doing any meetings in Baton Rouge, or do you know anyone in Baton Rouge? Doing anything?
I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, there's another ranger that's south of us. She does some, and we usually have bigger events, but we just sponsored a golf tournament for the sheriff here locally. And yeah, we do meetings, but lately it's been a lot of Zoom individual meetings, and that's actually been very, very beneficial for us. So, but yeah, you could schedule a Zoom call with us. You could schedule a dinner because we do them often as well. So yeah, we do all that stuff.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely have you on again, Davey. Once we get, I think we could easily sell 1,000 of those Texit silver pieces easy.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a stretch of the amount. I think probably just the runners alone, our team would probably buy 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, and they're super fun. We designed the little cards. They're carded, and
yeah. Can you show it again? Let me get you bigger. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's clear.
Texas, get TXC. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that. 2 ounce.
Yeah, these are 2-ounce cast loaves. Now, they actually come in a really cool bag. It's got a big Texit coin graphic on it, but I'm out of the bags here at the shop, so I couldn't have that ready. But anyways.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, we're going to continue to bring these amazing Texit stories here. From people just have not in crypto, not in blockchain. Like Davey said, he had bought Doge and a few other tokens. That was it. To paying off his house, to finally being able to breathe and have some space and not have that constant pressure of living paycheck to paycheck. His 22-year-old son Mason, I would argue, is probably set for life now. Not as well as getting the family business eventually with dealing with real money, gold and silver. So Davey, thank you for coming on, man. Awesome story. I think it's going to inspire a lot of other people to either join or really take seriously what we have here with Texit right now, to share this and make some serious money. Mims, anything you want to add as we close out?
Yeah, no, I told you guys we had an awesome show for you guys. And yeah, folks, we're just getting started. I hope you guys understand we just getting started. Get back to whoever shared this out with you, this live stream. Let them know you're ready to start mining, or at least get your questions answered. Make sure y'all like this out, share this out, obviously, because the algorithm, we be shadow banned. They don't want people to get information like this and opportunities. So make sure y'all definitely like it and share it out. And yeah, I'm fired up and excited, folks. We got a lot coming. The infrastructure of Texit is hitting exponential growth at this point in time. We have multiple exchanges that we just got listed on. We have more mining containers coming online here in Texit. Folks, just trust me, we're just getting started. So you're coming in at the right time. Lock in your position. Don't hesitate. Don't wait.
Maybe anything you wanted to add before we close out? Or are you good?
No, thanks for bringing me on. And anytime we do a plug, I get a bunch of website orders, guys. We need a break, so they might come slow. Just telling you. And Mike, I need your address for you guys, you and Mims. I'm going to send this to you.
Oh yeah, baby.
It's a gift from me. And that way you can actually have it in hand and show it off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that just made my
Yeah,
whole
I love
month
it.
right there.
Yeah, thanks. You know that.
Thank you guys for having me. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Awesome.
Yeah, for
Good to
sure.
have you,
Oh,
brother.
one more thing I was going to ask. What is the procedure if people wanted to use Texit to buy something from the Locker Mint?
If they're, well, a lot of our customers are really on social media, but a lot of the people that go to our website, it's not a real easy integration option. Just there's a contact button there. Just email us. Say, hey, I want to pay for TextCoin.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
So there you go, guys. You know, another use case, and we're going to be bringing another guy on who's building an entire network of vendors and businesses that accept Texit. So it could be restaurants in Texas and other areas. I think he has plumbers, electricians, roofers, mechanics. And so he's working on putting all this together where we're going to be able to use Texit to pay for goods and services. And we'll have like a directory that will cover Texas easy, but we'll probably start to spread to other states as well. And now you can add in buying gold and silver directly with Texit. You know, even you could really buy anything you want. You just trade the Texit for USDT and,
Right.
you know, put it on a card or send it to your bank. But direct purchase Texit with silver now using the Locker Mint, just contact them.
Yeah. I mean, you mine at $50 a day in Texit coin. You can get your ounce of silver every single day.
There you go.
It's beautiful.
No need to even get dirty.
Right on.
All right, guys, you have an awesome week. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at our usual time at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard. And I think we're going to have another cool Texit story, or we'll just cover the markets.
Thanks, guys.
All right, lace up. We are wealthy.